In this tutorial, I'm going to create some variables, and then I'm going to figure out how to get that click event to work. I'm going to create a WinScreen, and then I'm going to code it to all work together. So let's get started. The first step that I thought about is I need some variables. I got to keep track of my score. So I'm going to go to the coding window. I'm going to go to the variables. And where do I put my variables? That's right, at the top. So the first thing I'm going to need is a variable for cache. That's like my score in my game. I'm going to start it at 0. I replaced this box with a cache. I just arrowed over into this area, which is the 0. Again, if you want to text code that, that would be absolutely fine as well. But I'm using the blocks to make it simple and accessible for everyone. The next thing I want to do is I want to declare my winning score. So in order to win the game, I'm going to make a winning score. Notice I use camel case, no spaces, and I declare a variable winning score. And that variable it gets, just because I'm at the very beginning and I want to be able to win my game quickly, I'm going to set that to 100 or 10. But I could change that easily as my game advances to whatever score I want. But I'm going to start with 10. Then I also need a variable that is going to be how much cache you get per click. So right now, the cache per click is going to be at 1. So every time I click, I'm going to get 1. But as I start to level up and buy different things, my cache per click is going to increase. But for now, it's just going to be 1 point per click. So I've got that coded up. Now I want to have some code for my button. So I'm going to go to the design view. I want my button to have the code, so I got to click on that button. Then I go to events, and then I'm going to insert and show code. So now, boom, I now have my on event click button, this piece of a code here that we use for the button. So there's my code. That's related to button. Every time I click the button now, in theory, it should say button clicker clicked. Let's just make sure it's working. Yes, everything is working. I want to start introducing you to the concept of code a little, test it. Code a little, test it. So I coded a little, then I tested it. I also want you to get in the habit of looking at these warnings. See, these warnings here tell me that I made a variable, I'm using up memory, but I'm not using the variable yet. Now, in my situation, I'm not too worried about that. These, because I know I haven't called them yet. In this one, it's always going to say that on that callback function because it's not going to go until I click on it, and that's what's happening there. So you don't have to worry about it there, but it is giving me a warning that, hey, it's not specifically called in the program. Well, of course not. It's not called till you click. So that one's okay. These are just warning me, hey, if you never ever use them, you might as well delete them. Now I'm going to create a WinScreen. And just a review from the last app that we made, to create a WinScreen, we go to Design. I'm going to drag a brand new screen over here. I'm going to Properties, and I'm going to call that screen WinScreen. And on here, for now, I'm just going to put a placeholder that says Winner. And I'm going to put a button that prevents me from getting stuck. That is, I'm going to call it back to game. And this is going to say start again. And this is going to trigger the event that's going to let me start again. So let's code some of these things up. First, the start again button. Start again button. When I click on that, I want it to take me back to the start screen. So that's under User Interface Controls, Set Screen. I'm going to look for that Set Screen thing. So back to Game, Set Screen, set it to go back to Screen 1. Boy, that Screen 1 is such a boring name. I'm going to go back to this, to my original Screen 1, and I'm going to call this screen Game Screen. I should have done that in the previous video. That would have been really smart, but you know, you live and learn. So here we go in code. It is not screen 1 anymore. Now it's called screen game screen, and it will be impossible to get to. It's kind of stuck in, it's kind of trapped in there. When I run, I can never get to that screen. I can never test that block of code yet. Notice how I also, again, I tested it right after I wrote something. It also helps if you turn this off. I find it drags down your computer, especially in the Chromebook time. Look at how that makes the gray box too, and I just don't want to do that. This video is starting to get a little long here already at 5 minutes, so I'm going to stop here with just having a WinScreen and having the 2 buttons programmed, and then we're going to add the code in the next video.